Hello! It's Bhagavad Gita Sadhana time. Yay! I have my supervisor right here, Oliver the yoga cat. I have you. I have the beauty of Mother Nature. What more could we need? Oh, yes, some talk about the Bhagavad Gita. As I've been mentioning, we're starting again going through the Gita, but this time we'll go through with a different focus. And you can notice if the different focus changes your experience of this wonderful work. I've said this many a time. Every time you will come back to the Gita, you will find something different and you'll go, why didn't I see that before? Because you're different. And also because the ways you can approach the Gita are many and varied. As a history, as a poem, as a text that guides you through spiritual practice and life. The overall goal of this year, the reason I'm doing this practice, as many of you know, is for the overarching concept of Samatvam, which is presented through the Gita. And Samatvam means essentially the same. It's often translated as equilibrium. A deeper meaning could be you discover who you truly are, and you are who you are. Instead of putting on masks for various functions or to look good, you just are who you are. And when it's said, when you are who you are, you find a lot of peace, and you do find that equilibrium. I think it comes from, many people say, I have to have equilibrium, and they try to force themselves into that. Like with the yamas and niyamas, I have to force myself to be nonviolent. I have to force myself to be truthful. But the actual fact is, when you discover who you are, really, those things become easy, and it can be a gauge of just how close to knowing your true self you are. If you've ever wondered, do I know my true self well? If you know your true self, you're able to stay yourself, no matter what's going on around you. If you're polite, you're polite, no matter what's going on around you. If you're cranky, you're cranky, no matter what's going on around you. I tend to fall into that latter category. But it's all about acceptance. And chapter 1 is a great overview of many of the nuances of Samatvam that we find throughout the rest of the Gita. And we can tell Arjuna is not close to his true self, even though he's led a life of intense spiritual practice, because he does what many of us do. And I think that's why the Gita is so relatable. At the beginning of chapter 1, he's got the opportunity of a lifetime. He's a born warrior. He's got the opportunity for a battle that will set things right in the world, that will return morality to his country, to his family, and he's got the skills, the tools, and the support to get it done. So as he's coming onto the battlefield with his counselor and best friend and cousin, Krishna, he's like, yep, time for battle. He's got his bow. He plucks it and it thunders. Ooh, fabulous. People are blowing their conchs, their kettle drums are getting beaten. He's all, yes. His flag flutters in the breeze, his banner. It's a happy day for Arjuna. But then when he actually arrives on the battlefield fully and looks around and realizes what he's going to have to do, which is kill people he knows and loves, or get killed himself. His brothers could get killed. His son could get killed. His nephews could get killed. His cousins. And he just suddenly realized, yeah, maybe not. And he goes from, woo, just in a few minutes to, I can't. And he drops his weapons and he just sits down in his chariot and goes, yep, not fighting. His plight represents how we face the battles of life. Oftentimes, the beginning of an endeavor, we're like, whoa, I can do it. But as soon as we hit the slightest difficulty, we actually look at it and we go, oh, crap, no. And then we give up. So that could be like committing to do a year-long sadhana outside through all the weather at the same time every single day. It sounds like a good idea first day, woo! And for a couple days, it hasn't been that bad. But, once in a while I go, man, again, I got to do it. I quit. No, but I'm not going to quit. In other areas of life, you get married. Woo! I've seen this happen so many times. I'm getting married. Then you plan the wedding and everything gets involved. And I've heard so many of my friends going, yeah, that's it. I'm not doing this. I quit because it's too much. Or having a kid. Ah, yay, a kid. Oh my gosh, there's no manual. It's too much. Or a promotion at work, like anything. Sports fans are like this. The beginning of every season, my team, yay. And then the team starts losing a little bit. And then boo, I quit. I'm not watching them anymore. So true fans stay with their team. True parents stay with their kid. I mean, whether you feel you're doing good or bad, you keep going. That's part of essentially being ourselves is we know what's right and we know the path and we stick with it. That's a qualification for the spiritual path because many people will try to dissuade you. I don't mean just people like, oh, what are you doing? You could be going out with us to a baseball game or something like that. It's people who want your time and money, advertisers, for example, those who want you to participate more in the material world than the spiritual. Could even be pets. So this is a great opportunity to reflect on the troubles you're finding in life that are seeking to dissuade you from doing what you know is right. We do a balance pose because a balance pose is said to help us get physical equilibrium that can translate into mental and emotional equilibrium. Let's go. Another day. Oh, the rain has stopped. Nice. Switch. It's rodent fest here today. Man, are they zipping along? Maybe you'll see a few. Maybe want to climb on my head. Maybe the cat will go crazy. Oh. So today's practice I'm dedicating to the Cleveland Metro Parks, which do a wonderful job in northeastern Ohio of restoring land to its original true self. I just had a friend in from New York City, hello, Tejasveen, who said one of the four things she really misses about Cleveland is the Metro Park system. So celebrating this ability to cultivate and return connection to our true self, I invite you today to reflect on a situation where it started out, wow, and then it went, and what you've learned from that, because this is the big lesson of the Gita that we'll be exploring. Let's do that for 5. Welcome back. If you were wondering, I can't think of something that I started doing, then I just stuck with it. And so I've heard from many, well, I shouldn't say many, I've heard from some of you that even at the beginning, just the thought of sitting for 5 minutes, you start, you're like, I'm going to sit for 5 minutes with Atmadarshan. And about 30 seconds, you go, what was I thinking? All right. But you're doing it. This is one of the simple definitions of a hero who knows what has to be done, commits to it, and sees that commitment through. You're a hero. We're going to continue our hero's journey tomorrow. Hey, and before then, if you'd like to leave a comment, email, text about a situation you found yourself in that was not as pleasant as you anticipated, yet you honored your commitment, stuck through it, and what that did for you. I love connecting with you. And until we see each other again.